Okay, we're doing the orthocenter this time around. It's the center of a triangle. The orthocenter is the intersection of the altitudes of a triangle. Orthocenter is the intersection of the altitudes of a triangle. So, an altitude, if you remember, goes from a vertice straight down till it makes a perpendicular, intersects perpendicularly with its opposite leg. Sometimes you'll have to extend the legs because that intersection can be outside of the triangle. So, orthocenter, intersection of the altitudes, vertice, straight down till it makes a perpendicular right angle with the opposite leg. Intersects perpendicularly, right angle. So, in order to do that, we're going to use our compass. In short, we're using the simple technique of making a perpendicular line through a point. The point being my vertex, the line being the opposite base. First step is to put your point on the vertex and set your distance so that it's just slightly beyond the line. Slightly beyond the line. Make two arcs. One arc where it crosses there, and then one arc where it crosses there. Sometimes one of these two arcs will cross where your leg would be imaginarily if you extended it out. Now we have those, we're going to find the point, the second point. Put your compass at the point where that first arc intersects the base, and extend your compass to be longer than half the distance between that point and the other end, and less than the whole thing. Draw one arc. Using that same distance, go to the other point where that arc intersected the leg. Draw another arc. That gives you a point where those two arcs intersect. And in order to find the altitude, use your straight edge to connect the vertice to that point. There's your altitude. That makes a 90-degree angle, and it goes through that point. Repeat that for the other two sides. So again, here, I'm going to extend the compass so that it goes from the vertice just beyond the opposite base. Just beyond the opposite base. One arc, crosses it there. Second arc, crosses it there. That gives me this point where the leg and the arc intersect. This point where the leg and the arc intersect. Take your compass, put it on one of those two new points we've created, and then extend your compass so that it is less than the distance to the second point, but greater than half of that distance. So about like that. It's longer than the halfway, but less than that other point. Make another arc down here. Go using that same length, go to that other point we just made, make another arc. We can then draw a line through the vertice and this new point where those two arcs intersect. Last but not least, we do that to this side. Compass, point goes on the vertice. Extend the side so that it goes just beyond that line. Make an arc where it intersects there, and an arc where it intersects there. We've just created two new points where that arc intersects the base, and that arc intersects the base there. Again, using your compass, make the distance from that point less than the whole distance to the next point, but greater than the distance to half. Make an arc down here. Use that same distance to go to that other point we created. Next arc. This point here, we can then connect to a vertice. With another altitude. This point, where all three altitudes intersect, is our orthocenter. Again, these are altitudes. They intersect 90 degrees, 90 degrees, orthocenter.